Okay, thanks, Kevin. Doctors say 1 in 50 people will have an aneurysm in their brain. Many live without ever knowing it, but if an aneurysm bursts, it can be deadly.
That's right. One Ozarks woman lived through a burst aneurysm and survived. KSPRs Doug Magditch joins us live with how she survived. Doug?
Joe, Michelle, nearly 40% of people that have an aneurysm burst die before ever making it to the hospital. Another 30% have permanent damage. 5 years ago, Barbara Carter had a burst aneurysm, and today she's fine. It's what she's calling a miracle.
Trigger, come here. Come on.
Barbara Carter spends her days taking care of the cows and miniature horses.
You gonna be a pig? Huh?
With the horses, it's more play than work.
I do, I love them.
Something she can now truly enjoy pain-free.
Since I was 8 years old, I had really bad headaches.
And one day, those headaches became unbearable.
I went out to see about the horses, and I started to put my hand up on the horse, and it hit me in the back of my neck, and I could feel it travel through the back of my head, and then my neck started getting stiff.
Carter found out the cause was a brain aneurysm, something she'd likely had for years.
Having an aneurysm, unless it is very large, you wouldn't know it unless you had an imaging test.
Instantly, I started paralyzing in my neck, and by the time they did get me to the hospital, I was paralyzing all the way down, even in my legs.
Carter did exactly what she should have. She went directly to the hospital.
The quicker you can go, the better.
It's a very complicated disease, very difficult to treat. They're in the ICU for weeks.
Come on, boy.
After surgery and 14 days in intensive care, Carter still had recovery ahead of her.
2 or 3 weeks before I could actually balance myself. But after it, I remembered everything, and I never had any health problems after that.
Without insurance, the Carters lost their land, house, and retirement savings to pay the bills.
Yeah, I'd counted on a retirement, on an easy retirement.
But say despite the cost, they still feel like they're lucky.
But I'm alive, and a lot of people aren't.
If you know you have a brain aneurysm, you can do a couple of things to lower your risk of a rupture. Try to keep your blood pressure down, and don't smoke. Live in the studio, Doug Magditch, KSPR News.
Unless a brain aneurysm is really large, you likely won't know you have one. But there are warning signs that it ruptured. Doctors say it will likely feel like the worst headache you've ever had. Also, you might experience some neck stiffness or back pain. Since an aneurysm burst is a type of stroke, you can expect the same symptoms as a stroke. Some will lose consciousness, also could have double vision.
New at 4 in Oklahoma.